in the jungle. Let's see, Land of Dawn. Here we go for game 2. Once again for GEEK SLATE and as well as BIGETRON Alpha.
Ooh, something tells me that GEEK SLATE has no intention of letting Saken actually have a say in how the game goes. There are so many ways to shut down squishy heroes in the side lanes, and considering that the Fredrin is available on the EXP lane, I think it's always going to be headed or targeted towards the gold lane. Janna now tries to out-farm and out-rotate. We'll have to see. The early levels here is going to be very oppressive for a GEEK fan. GEEK SLATE, because BIGETRON Alpha doesn't really know where exactly GEEK SLATE wants to maneuver around.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this matchup, right, usually the Valentina does win against most marksmen, but up against the Melissa, this can actually be the Melissa who has a little bit more of an advantage here. A boy with a good sidestep. Max, though, picking up the purple buff. Not really going to be distracted there, but he jumps in onto a boy, looking for some more. The lethal was secured by Janna, and both teams are still just playing it very safe in the first minute.
One main concern regarding the composition is, GEEK SLATE, they're going for that early, banging on that early. And take a look at the response here, BIGETRON. Okay, patience. Yeah, if we're talking about the late game here, Arashi, Mirko, Saken got this in the bag with that Melissa, right? Take a look at the skin as well. Jutsu Kaisen is up and available in game. And GEEK SLATE, they really need to control the early and snowball and just win, what, minute number 12 or 11, 13. If not, it's just going to be BIGETRON taking the control with the Melissa.
It's a very risky strategy right here, and BIGETRON are able to try to play around it. And pre-level 4, this is what they can do, but after level 4, BIGETRON Alpha has chances to try and counter and punish them if they overextend. And now, if they can't really get a dive on the turrets, they have to try and go for invades in the jungle, man. They need to use this early game as much as possible because time is not in their favor.
Oh, Sorizo with a lot of damage there. Able to get out as well. GEEK SLATE now. A boy has actually popped the black shoes. That's a good day for BIGETRON Alpha. One massive resource gone. They might be looking for this right now. Max has a punch out. That's the fair airstrike as well. Max wins out the retry battle against Janna. That's gonna be the shadow kill popped in as well. Max still able to disengage, and both teams are looking to just back off. That's the flicker from Sorizo. Tortoise Poissons and Beloy jumping in to pick up first blood. That's the response by GEEK SLATE.
Finally, GEEK SLATE here with the neutral objective take. They're looking for that compensation. They're looking for a fight as well. BIGETRON Alpha still wanted that neutral objective, but GEEK SLATE finally with the responsible Loiski picking up the first blood.
It's a first blood, but it's only onto Sorizo. And in a way, it's great because it plays into their win condition, getting Luke ahead right here with 1 assist, and still being more dominant in the lane. We'll have to see though, because in the mid lane, there's going to be a boy jumped on. No chance.
Yeah, another kill over. The Divine Judgment for their airstrike and that high and dry, dealing a lot of damage. A boy, again, this game with the sprint, right? Again, he didn't really utilize that. Saken has the go away. Will pop it. Beloy not able to jump close enough. Chidera has stolen the IMU, but again, not able to get close enough. BIGETRON Alpha so far playing the weak side of the map pretty well, too.
Yeah.
And they have a Farsa right here. They have options, but look at this.
They have the Inspire though, Saken dealing the damage, and that's the rotation from the rest of BTR. Chidera with the all-in, but he might just be taken down. One more hit, the double kill picked up. Key, wow, flickering into the shield. You need to cancel it out as Moreno's able to dish out damage, but will be taken down in the end. Now Saken with that damage, Max gonna be able to pick that kill up. Double kill for Janna, but on a utility, I think that might still be worth it for BTR. Luke is rotated up top. Max is caught. He's pinned down. That's the bravest fighter. Max not gonna be able to disengage from this one. That's just enough damage to take him down, but wait, Luke falls. And again, it's Max who picks up the kill.
Yeah, I guess he got the damage in, and it's, again, trade-wise, favoring heavily, I feel like, towards BIGETRON Alpha.
They have the better late game, so any kind of even trade is going to be beneficial for them, because even if they're losing, it's not even that big of a deal. But look at this, it's a better airstrike to pick up potential.
Oh, Janna is down. Sorizo looking for more onto Chidera right now as Beloy actually jumps onto the turtle. Luke doesn't have the bravest fighter. It's still on cooldown. That's going to be a free turtle over to Max. Luke gets a stun now finally onto Sorizo with that bravest fighter. Finally back up as Key zones a boy and Beloy away. It's BTR with another just clean take.
So far, Luke has been using this flicker off cooldown, man. Every single time it's up, he just goes in for a big Bravest Fighter play. So you like to see that proactiveness, but it's not really efficient. It's not too effective right now. BIGETRON is outmaneuvering from it, and Saken here trying to fight for his life.
He's all good, man. For the airs right now onto Beloy. One more hit. There you go. That's Saken picking it up. Not even using the Inspire. BIGETRON are reading Geek Slate like an open book.
Crucial kill. That wings by wings. Very crucial as well. Well utilized there by Moreno. 4 kills picked up and a 2 assists. And they're looking for the siege top side. And again, same story. Game 1. Not much Geek Slate can do.
They just seem to have a disconnect in the communication, right? Because they do have a lot more mobility, a lot of wave clear, but you don't see them all in the same place together. And if they are, that's a lot of damage and a lot of crowd control, and they're trying to do so right now.
Onto Key? Jana and everyone, they've used so many of the resources. That's gonna be the Divine Judgment though. That's the bait. That's why they went for it. To bait Max in, and it worked out in the end. Geek Slate with 1 kill back here in the 6th minute.
It's just more Max blundering. And take a look at bot side. Will they commit to this? No, not just yet. Yeah, Max blunders there, I feel.
Agreed.
I mean, why go in that situation?
Didn't expect a Divine Judgment, I think.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing, right? He thought that he can get away quickly, but then again, a very fast response there from Kadira with that IMU. But let's see now. It's still BIGETRON Alpha leading that gold department, but with that in mind, Arashi, can Geek Slate turn this game around?
They still have the advantage in the mid game, right? That's where the Valentina, the Lilia, and the Natalia really starts to gain some steam. But afterwards, after the mid game, BIGETRON Alpha has an overwhelming advantage if they want to try and play around the damage dealers. And look at that burst!
Oh boy, just taken out. That's a Divine Judgment onto Chidera, who's looking for more. Max losing out in the retreat battle now. Jana finding it here, equalizing the score a bit for Geek Slate. But with a boy down, again, it's BTR who pick up a not so bad trade.
I mean, remember the head-to-head Arashi, Moreno, and as well as a boy. Moreno, as we all know, very aggressive, and on this Farsa, we can see definitely that the burst type, the mid laner carry type is there. 4-1-3. Oh, Guardian and Arashi here opting for that Geek Slate, but take a look at mid.
Yeah, boy trying to escape again, pops the Black Juice, so Rizzo jumps back in with a taunt as well. Maybe the Appraiser's Wrath as well here. There you go, boy! With the sidestep and Beloy with the punish, even in the back line. Moreno is caught low. Up top is the 1v1. Max unable to solo kill Chidera. And this might be it, the moment where Geek Slate can utilize that mid-game power spike.
Wow, that was a bit over-aggressive coming from BIGETRON, because they can just cruise to a very guaranteed late game, but they are taking risks right here. They want to try and take matters into their own hands. But they have to be careful, because Geek Slate, like we mentioned, once that mid-game comes rolling around, the Bloodlust Axe, the Lightning Truncheon being completed by Luke and Chidera respectively, they can very easily go for that pick-off game plan. And remember, Beloyski can very easily shut down completely the back line of BIGETRON Alpha.
Bravest Fighter there, popped in. Moreno was able to jump away with wings by a wing, so Bravest Fighter doesn't end up with anything on the bot side. You can see the Shadow Kill now popped in. Max versus 2, gets away. Chidera stole that Shadow Kill, and that's going to be an important resource to note, as without the Divine Judgment on his hands, BIGETRON will be a bit more free to play in these team fights.
Yeah, let's see here. Again, BIGETRON Alpha, they were leading almost 2,000 gold. It seems like Geek Slate, with the couple of previous exchanges, they are able to somehow equalize on the gold department. Space-wise though, still BIGETRON Alpha leading the turret by 1, but Geek Slate, they're looking for more proactivity. Melissa, is it online right now?
Not just yet, but considering the fact that BIGETRON Alpha has 2 turrets taken, that's just amazing, because Geek Slate, their only real virtue in the late game is if they can use this early game to take on the turrets and abuse the vision, abuse the control, and abuse the minion waves. If BIGETRON Alpha can beat them in the turret control department, this is just worst case scenario, and it seems like BIGETRON, they're still going for it.
He, what a read onto a boy with the conceal. The Brave Spider now popped in by Luke, getting the stun only to Key, and that's the preemptive go away! Saken dealing a lot of damage, but will fall to the hands of Beloy with the execute. Jana taking low, Chorizo knocking Beloy up. Jana, 1 HP, but Max jumps in onto Chidera, finds it now. No shadow kill to follow through, but the quad shadow comes in clutch, and the taunt will lock Chidera down. It's a 4-0. Jana recalls, and it might just be, yep, a free Lord over to BTR.
The Red Robots programmed to win, and take a look at that. BIGETRON Alpha clean execution, great lead by Key, and it's just GG from that fight, right? A boy taken down early. GEEK SLATE without marksman. They're just vulnerable. After one main damage they're taken down, it's just cruising after that fight. And with this Lord, take a look at the gold lead now. It's 3,000. They doubled their gold lead.
Double the gold lead, and they do that by keeping GEEK SLATE guessing what's going to happen, and before they know it, they are the ones that get engaged on. And if you look at the spacing, the positioning from BIGETRON Alpha, they don't really clump up together too much unless they're forced to, and that means that Aboy and Chidera, as well as Luke, all of these heroes require their opponents to group together for maximum efficiency. And the bot side, seems like GEEK SLATE is chasing for a kill again, but will that be enough?
Questionable move here. GEEK SLATE, they needed to take care of the lower top side here. Perhaps they're looking for a quick kill bot side, but they did not achieve the mid side though.
Yeah, Max gonna be punished down. That's the kill over, but that's gonna be Beloy falling as well. Boy, popping the black shoes. BIGETRON Alpha Max, a bit too aggressive. Once again, punished by GEEK SLATE. They need to be very careful here. Max is an assassin. He can't be the one jumping in first.
Especially when you have a lot of crowd control, right? With Luke, with Jana as well. Perhaps that divine judgment comes into play from the IMU. So, yeah, you're right. Max can't really bait out information, but that Lord, what do you think? What do you think? Lord push, not too beneficial here for side of the Red Robots.
Not at all. They're trying to control the waves and push together, but I think all the waves went down the lane one by one, so GEEK SLATE were able to rotate around, and with Max getting taken out there, they just had the window of numbers advantage they can use to try and clear out that Lord. So BIGETRON right now are still, the aggressors still looking for a chance, but also, of course, they have to be very careful still. So it's a 12-minute mark where, in theory, GEEK SLATE are the strongest right now. From here on, it's always going to be a downward spiral for GEEK SLATE and their power in the late game.
GEEK SLATE though, still here, looking for the bold play, perhaps from Luke. He has the flicker. Let's see, BIGETRON strong with main 5 here, set up again, they're ready. All spells are up for both teams here. Beloyski will be up very soon, execute, but yeah, looking at the ultimates, looking at the spells, they're definitely ready for the 5v5, so it's just a matter of the setup here. 30 seconds to the next Lord, perhaps that will be the fight that they're looking for.
Take note of the level difference though between Max and Jana Cutie. Usually Baxia is the hero that can just farm so quick with the huge clear and get a level advantage and get dominance in the neutral objective take, but Max now actually is the one with the level advantage, so it just shows how much more proactive BIGETRON Alpha has been around the map, trying to secure as much of a lead as possible. And if Jana Cutie hasn't equalized that difference, it's going to be very difficult for them to contest this next upcoming Lord, which might just be the final Lord needed for BIGETRON Alpha to make their counter-attack begin and go for the end against GEEK SLATE.
Oh, he's looking for a play here, gets spotted out, canceling out that conceal. Meanwhile, down below, I think BIGETRON Alpha have info now that Chidera has stolen that that Divine Judgment with his IMU.
Hey, another reset here, Lord Dance. It's an enhanced Lord here, so yeah, both teams, they really need to be careful. BIGETRON Alpha, gold lead, yeah, still, they need to be cautious here at the setup. Again, particular here from Beloyski, which of course he is trying to find an angle to look for Saken, if not Moreno. Let's see here the angle he took. Far left, far right, rather.
You take a look at the opposite side of the map though, that wave is pushing in favor of GEEK SLATE, so they have no problems waiting around here. BIGETRON Alpha are the ones who have to try and make something happen or try and clear that lane, but look at the play!
They spotted Beloyski right now, Max jumps in with the shadow kill, but that's going to be Beloy who finds a kill back. Luke now caught in the midst of it, jumps in with the stun, onto Moreno, Saken moving forward with a nature, why would he dash forward? He gets punished by Luke and the members of GEEK SLATE. BIGETRON Alpha losing in this team fight 2 for 1.
Oh my god, it was looking good for BIGETRON in the early phase, but what happened there? A slight overcommitment move from Saken, and he gets taken down. With that, of course, GEEK SLATE will take momentum, take the Lord, and take a look at mid-side though, but boy,
Should be dead here. That's the high and dry doing work, but again, BIGETRON Alpha's 2K gold lead gone with a single fight.
yeah.
That was unfortunate. All the fights that were BIGETRON Alpha was able to actually win decisively was on the back of Key getting an amazing pickoff. They start the fight with a 5-4 advantage. That particular fight is the exact opposite. They lost one member first, and they went to continue the fight 4 against 5, and it's just not enough. This is the mid-game point. Well, the tail end of the mid-game point, which means that GEEK SLATE still has a lot of burst damage, and Saken did not have enough prepared to withstand that kind of damage. And as you mentioned, Mirko, questions are in the air about the positioning, the decisions made in the middle of that fight. He needs to play it perfect with all the threat available from GEEK SLATE. Only takes one misstep for all the burst damage to Natalia, to Valentina, to completely burst him down.
For the airstrike once again on the Janna with the Athena popped in. BIGETRON Alpha still able to defend right here in that top side. The gold lead's still gone though. Key with the conceal looking for a boy. Needs to be careful here. Needs to be very, very careful. He has the flicker now just up. Unfortunately for him, doesn't have it there, but Beloy is the literal win condition for GEEK SLATE. I think even after the roster change, even with a boy joining in this lineup, it's still Beloy. If Beloy does well, the team does well. If Beloy doesn't do well, the team falters too.
The mid-side here though, BIGETRON Alpha, they're still able to defend that tier 1 important anchor, right? GEEK SLATE, even though they got the Lord, funnily enough, they aren't able to secure that mid-side. So questionable, I guess, their prior were and elsewhere. But if we're talking about situation now, it's equal, Arashi.
It is equal, and in that siege, right, talking about the turrets, BIGETRON Alpha does have a lot more clear with the Melissa and the Farsa. So GEEK SLATE, what they have to try and do is, if they have the Lord or a wave advantage, they must go for a fight or go for a big turret dive to ensure that the wave does not get cleared out. Because in the rage department, like we mentioned, it's a late game in particular, they are severely outranged, and this just means that now it's back to this game of cat and mouse. BIGETRON Alpha trying to play as safe as possible, push as many waves as possible, and GEEK SLATE trying to catch them off guard, trying to somehow find a pickoff and potentially go for a snowball play, getting a member advantage, and maybe using that momentum, right? Using that numbers advantage to keep cycling the death timers and going for the end, similar to how we see several times in yesterday's matches.
Another brilliant performance here by Key. I suppose 1-2-12 on a Kaja, providing cover and as well as initiation, just knows when to provide each department very, very well now. Take a look at his positioning here, opening up vision, providing that extra space. Let's see though, will he be able to perform in this Lord dance here with Flicker and as well as Divine Judgment in play. Let's see who will he catch as GEEK SLATE top side still slowly pushing here. It seems like Janna is already ready to battle these Retribution, but BIGETRON, okay, reset the Lord.
Just waiting for the right opportunity. They're left Max in the top side of the map. They're trying to go for a 1v1. They're showing right now,
okay.
This means that GEEK SLATE can make a move. They have the cash, they have the mobility, so BIGETRON needs to read into it, but they're coming for the Lord.
Oh, they pull the trigger right now, so Rizzo is going to be able to actually jump onto Luke. That's one kill on the board, but it's the secure for GEEK SLATE. It's an evolved Lord here in the 18th minute. BIGETRON Alpha, Max was all the way in the top lane, so again, good punish by GEEK SLATE.
Yeah, the second Max shows in the top side is just all in, and they just push the trigger, they pull the trigger and push the gas, and it's a 5v4 fight. They got the Lord without retribution, so it's just GG's. Item-wise here, what do you think?
Athena shield completed for Saken. This is going to be a bit more durable considering that a lot of magical burst damage is available on the side of GEEK SLATE. This does mean though that Beloyski will be the one that has to try and find that window to try and burst him down. But he does have the Wind of Nature, I believe, and Moreno has the Glowing Wand, so trying to give a bit more burst damage, a bit more max HP damage, considering that the members of GEEK SLATE are also beefy in the front line.
Chorizo trying to tank in the front line, trying to be that zoner. Key gonna be chunked pretty low. Boy, forced to pop that black shoes as that is the damage coming out from Saken with the golden staff corrosion side combo. As we expect, it's still the Evolved Lord cleared out in a way where GEEK SLATE weren't really able to really fully capitalize utilizing the Lord at all, right? It got cleared out way too fast with the high ground pressure that BIGETRON had. Not even the tier 2 in the mid fell.
They just recognize the potential for BIGETRON Alpha to counter-engage on them, which is why that, especially in the base tower situation, right? They just don't have it. They don't think that they have enough of a lead to just jump in right there and trying to go for a big 5v5. So if they get the Lord, the best they can do is let it crash and do that much damage. But afterwards, with the range limitations, without the high ground, it's just back to this Lord dance situation where they have to just try and use the macro game as good as possible and try and secure yet another Lord, which is why the late game becomes so brutal, because this is all they can really do. Well, whereas BIGETRON Alpha, if they find a single good pickup or a single good fight, they have way more options on the table. One single fight here could be what BIGETRON Alpha needs to try and just end the game directly.
And also, right, do note that Moreno is on a magic worship. He opted for that glowing one as well. So extra damage over time adds combined with that magic worship. Insta burst towards a boy without black shoes, or perhaps Beloyski.
And he's also building towards a winner truncheon, right? So if he does get this winner truncheon by the time, well, before the next team fight starts, Beloy's going to have a lot of trouble jumping into that back line.
Saken with the go away, Moreno with the winner's truncheon. No clear target except for that Max. But then again, Max can just escape with the shadow kill.
The winner's done. It's built up.
Exactly.
I feel like eventually, though, there's going to be an adjustment from BIGETRON Alpha to try and use a lot of their ultimates and battle spells defensively instead, because we've seen that Saken is for sure the main target for GEEK SLATE, and he has not been able to survive in these big fights. So if they use Chorizo or perhaps Key defensively, right, using their spells to try and peel for Saken, maybe they can find a bit more success, because of course in this late stage of the game, they are relying heavily on the Melissa damage DPS to every single member of GEEK SLATE with the AoE to try and get a decisive win in the late game. Now with the Lord pushing, and with the wave in the bot side pushing in favor of GEEK SLATE yet again though, we'll have to see. BIGETRON Alpha goes for the trap maneuver again. Max is showing GEEK SLATE can go for the exact same maneuver.
Man, that show right now, that's going to be Luke jumping in onto the other members. The go away will be placed with the winning nature as well. Luke going to be treaded down in that bottom or the back line. Max looking for the steal, but will not be able to find it. The shadow kill is there, but Chidera is waiting for the Divine Judgment. He does not get it. He actually pops the Divine Judgment there, but I guess Max was fast enough to pop into the quad shadow to cancel it? Didn't know that was an interaction.
Again, a similar story though, right? Same as the first Lord take, where GEEK SLATE, they managed to get the Lord but lost Luke in the process. Now, will we see now, will GEEK SLATE get any benefit with this Lord push?
Oh, GEEK needs to be very careful here. One-man disadvantage, and they don't have a frontliner. But the airstrike, okay, not really in range just yet. Saken to be able to pop that black shoes. Jana looking for a re-engage here. Look at Beloy, all the way, flanking all the way.
Oh my God.
He's looking for a sandwich maneuver here. He might be caught by Max, and just like that, he is going to be, caught in the vision. Saken now having the immortality, going to be able to dish out the damage right now as he pops in to go over. The back line is going to be obliterated by the side of Beloy. Saken now running away, still trying to sustain. Max losing immortality, now buys in the winner, but will not have the proper timing to get back up. He will fall as he flickers out to safety. Chorizo in the midst of it all, gonna be shredded down. Chidera picks up a triple, picks up a maniac. No, it's Beloy who takes it from him, and it's a wipeout. 1-1 in game number 2.
Say hello to game 3. Wow, what a performance from the Geeks. What a response there. Beloyski. Oh my goodness. Season 11. A lot of 1-to-1s, a plethora of 1-to-1s, 2-to-1s, and we are gonna see it again in our opening match. The Geeks, there you go, Matt, giving a smile here.
Reno as well.
Oh my goodness.
We gave them no chance at all in the late game, but they proved us wrong, man. With the maneuvers, with the split push, with the cutoffs, the flanks in the back line, they were just able to completely disassemble the composition, the formation of BIGETRON, and get that decisive victory because they do have the Lord on their backs. What a performance from GEEK, showing again that in the right situations,